Philippines. It's gorgeous. You know, the Philippines has some of the most beautiful country in the world. It's really nice, and we're on the KLX 140. We're climbing the mountains in the Philippines. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the things that's been happening in the Philippines. And we know there's been lots of like disasters like earthquakes and stuff. A lot of times by this time we have like typhoons and stuff, but we've had rain this year, but this year's highlight is the earthquakes, and we don't like that highlight. It's a low life. It's a low light. And we just have to be prepared for any kind of thing like that. You know, I'm from Southern California, and we have lots of earthquakes in California. And I'm used to it because like I grew up all my life doing earthquakes. But you know, the earthquakes in California, they happen like usually around 3 o'clock in the morning or when you're sleeping. So most people are not in public places except for their home. But in the Philippines, it seems like the earthquakes happen at weird hours, like, you know, in the evening or in the morning. So a lot of people are not prepared for these earthquakes. And it's very dangerous because these are times when a lot of people are out, and they could be at sporting events. Like at Cebu, they had some kind of sporting event and the roof collapsed and a lot of people perished. So it's better possibly that the earthquakes are like 3 o'clock in the morning so people are not out at sporting events. But they're pretty scary, and we just have to be prepared. You know, like we have to have extra water and food prepared, and we just have to realize that that's part of nature. You know, the Philippines is on the rim of fire, and it went through Hawaii and it's kind of going through the Philippines right now. So it's important to understand that the Philippines is a hot spot in geography as far as like the earthquakes. And hello, we have a few people here. Brian, nice to see you. Kawasaki. Yeah, good to see you. Is that Graham? Yeah. How you doing? Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm out riding in the mountains, Graham, and we're trying to avoid any earthquakes. And when I'm riding the Kawasaki, normally I don't like feel any earthquakes or anything like that because, you know, it's every moment on a motorcycle is an earthquake because you're jumping, and there's lots of like there's falling down trees coming up this mountain. There was a lightning strike, and one of these old oak trees fell down right in the middle of the road. So the Kawasaki has to jump a fallen down oak tree. But I've done it before, so it's not a big deal really. But a lot of the riders who haven't really experienced that, they have a difficult time. But it's fun in the mountains, and just enjoying like being in nature again, and just riding a motorcycle is fun. And you know, I was on vacation on the island, and it's nice to go on vacation, but also at the same time, it's nice to start being on a motorcycle and having fun and just enjoying, because nature is really where it's all about. Because the sort of the peace and serenity of being in the nature is really amazing. It's really wonderful to just be in nature, to be a part of it. And today I caught a snake at my house. I made a short video on that you could see on my YouTube channel. But I woke up this morning and I was like pruning my papaya trees because sometimes the birds, they go inside and they eating the papaya. And I give the papayas out to my Philippine neighbors. A lot of the people in my neighborhood don't have a lot of money. So it's really nice. And they have like babies and things. So I like to give the papayas away so that the kids can enjoy the fruit. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate that. Oh, you're so cool. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, anyways, I was opening this gate to one of my garden areas this morning, and there was a black and a white speckled snake in the little latch area, and I'm like, "What the heck?" And it crawled back inside. I guess the hole is deep enough for a snake to live. But I said, "That snake is not going to live here. I want that snake." So I was figuring, because the hole was very small, and I was figuring, like, how are you going to get like that snake out of the hole? Like, how is this snake going to come out? And I was thinking maybe I should get some GI wire and kind of prod the snake so that the snake comes out of the hole. So I found some GI wire from construction, and I kept prodding it. I got a bucket. I had a snake before, and the snake passed away. I don't know how he passed away. I guess he got sick or something. So I had this bucket that I had the snake from previous. A neighbor sold it to me for like $2. And but I saw the snake, he was kind of bigger, and I didn't know if it was poisonous because in the Philippines it's wild. It's wild. In America, I know all the snakes. Like, I've studied the books of all the species of snakes. So I know like what's poison, what's not poison, and what temperament they have and things like that. But in the Philippines, I have no idea. I have no freaking idea whether a snake is poison or not. And usually in the Philippines, people just kill every snake like it's a poison snake. But I don't like to do that, really. I don't like to just kill snakes. So I tried catching this snake, and I prodded it with that GI wire, and I had a bucket to like catch the snake, a big bucket that I used for the last snake. And the snake finally came out, but he didn't want to go in the bucket. He wanted to like go on the rocks in the backyard. So I was like, "Oh no, now we're going to have to really fight to get this guy." And he was kind of like sitting there frozen. And I grabbed that snake and I put him in the bucket, and I put the lid on it. And I took the pictures of the snake, and I had him investigate it. Like, is this a poison snake? Because, living in the province is very dangerous because, like, if you get bit by a poison snake, it could be curtains. So the thing is that you don't want to take any chances. That's why a lot of people just kill snakes. And I understand that, but I don't really like to just kill snakes because they're creatures of God, and there may be some snakes that are not poisonous, that may be good. They may be eating the lizards in your house, and they may be keeping the environment good. So I had it researched and found out that this snake was a non-poisonous snake, and it was called like the fang snake or something. And I said, what's this? And it was called the fang snake because it had like big teeth in the front, and they bite, and they like make a big bite. The snake tail was rattling like a rattlesnake. It was moving, and it was very aggressive when I caught it. So I'm thinking this could be either a poison snake, or it could be like a really mean snake, like it wants to bite. So I was trying to be safe, and I was thinking, what am I going to do? So I took these motorcycle gloves, the same ones, and I grabbed the snake, and I pulled it out, and I started playing with the snake, knowing once I knew it wasn't poison. And then he ate on me right over here, and he was scared, but he didn't bite. And they have these big fangs in the front. I wore the glove because I'm thinking, well, if he bites, he can bite the motorcycle glove. Because I've caught a lot of big tucus in the Philippines. For those of you that do not know what a tucu is, it's a big lizard. And the male, there's one of the males, I get them mixed up. One of them are kind of like stuff, and they're big lizards. And so I was catching lots of tucus by hand, maybe 50 of them. And every time I catch a tuku, if they can, they bite my glove. I wear gloves and they bite really hard. They're very, very terrible biters and they don't let go forever. So I'm thinking maybe the snake gonna do that like the tuku. And the tuku is very ferocious. But I'm kind of a tuku hunter. That's fun because they'll be hiding behind, let's say, a painting or something, and then I'll lift the painting up, and there'll be the big tuku. It's very big, and they make lots of noise, and they go tuku, tuku, and they're very awful noise. And I've had a few of them recently in my kitchen, my outdoor kitchen. But what I do is I just go ahead and grab them with a pair of gloves, and I grab them by the head, and I get rid of them. Like I throw them out in the fields. But the snake didn't bite at all. The snake was nice, and but he was wiggling to get out of my hand. He wanted out, but there's no biting of this snake, and he wasn't poisonous. So I have a new pet. I gotta feed. Now I gotta catch the little lizards, and I gotta feed this guy. But I'm gonna start handling the snake. I'm gonna wear gloves for a while just to make sure it's not gonna bite me. But I had a wild experience today living in the province, in the nature. So we must always be careful because there's like poison things out there, and there's not a lot of hospitals, in the province. So you want to be extra careful. You want to be careful on a motorcycle. You want to be careful like handling snakes. You want to be careful all the time. It's very important because you only have one life. So you have to protect that life and not be putting yourself in harm's way. That's the best way to look at it. But how's everybody doing? Good? You doing good? So we're just hanging out. We're going motorcycle riding. We're on top of the mountain right now. Here, I'll take this off and I'll show you where we're at right now. I'll take, I'm on the mountain top. It's very beautiful up here. There's lots of greenery. It's really, really beautiful. And God made really beautiful nature and a nice Kawasaki right there. Beautiful Kawasaki. But it's gorgeous. This here in the mountains. Today there's no cows. Sometimes there's cows wandering around here. But look at this place. It's like God's nature. There's a cliff right here. I'm on the edge of a cliff and it goes down several thousand feet. I don't know if you can see how far it goes down, but I'm literally on a cliff right now. I'm on top of the mountain, this particular mountain, but it's cool. It's beautiful. And it's the Philippines. And there is a nice 140. I got that thing about 8 months ago and I just have a blast. I tell all my friends, buy one of these 140s. They're a good time. And so that's what we're doing today. We're riding motorcycles. I'll put you back on the stand here. I put you back on the stand. But it's just gorgeous. It's God's country here. And it's really beautiful. It's really, really pretty country. And the Philippine people should be really proud of the country that they have and the nature. It's so gorgeous. And I've been in the Philippines for some time now. And I think each day I'm in the Philippines, I love it more because it's such a cool country and the people are nice. I never have problems in the Philippines as far as like, I'm in a province, so it's kind of quiet anyways, but I never like get robbed or I never have problems and the people in my area like me. And you got to be nice to people though, like treat the people with respect. I always am kind to the neighbors and I give them lots of fruits and the people, they bless you back, like if you're nice to people, the karma comes back to you. I've had people in my life that didn't believe in karma. They didn't believe in doing good to others. But when you do good to others, it comes back to you. So always remember that. Always try to be good. Don't try to like be arrogant and stuff like that. Because, I have a lot more than some people have in life. And I don't go around like bragging about it. And I notice that there's people in life that don't have almost anything that I've experienced, and they go around bragging about how much they have and how special they are, and they're bragging, and I'm like, Bryan, don't you brag like that. Always be humble and always give thanks to God for everything that He's blessed you with. And don't think that you're above people. Don't go around bragging. Even my house, I built a house and I keep it all closed. I have a big wall around my house, and I don't want to like make a public spectacle. And I know that a lot of people in the Philippines, they like to show off their wealth. They like to show off their cars, and they like to show off their beautiful house, and they like to make other people feel lower than them. But we're all humans, and we're all like creatures of God, and we all tie our shoe the same way. We're all born in this life the same way. We all will leave this earth the same way. So we can't take our money with us, and we have to have our good nature and show God that we're humble and that we don't go around bragging about what we have. But it's kind of funny when I see a lot of people with almost nothing bragging about everything. And even some of the places that I stay, the people are always like acting very high and mighty. And I'm like, don't do that. And never wish bad upon people, like never do bad to people, first of all, but never wish like bad things on people. Because I noticed that those people that wish bad on other people, the bad things kind of happen back to them. So don't always wish bad things. I had a girlfriend once that she left me. And then she said, I asked her, why did you leave me? And she said, well, you're getting older now, and I want to find a like a very young husband, and you're going to die soon and stuff. And I said, I am going to die soon. I feel good. I feel nice. But I was injured at the time, so I wasn't feeling that good. But I said to the girl, don't ever talk like that. Don't ever wish bad on people, because bad will happen to you. Like God's not sleeping. And, some people don't believe in God, but I do. And I believe in Jesus. And I believe that there is a God because there's so much beautiful nature. But never like wish bad on people, because bad will come back to you. It's karma. And I told this girl, I said, don't wish bad on me. I will get healthy. I was sick at the time. I said, I will get healthy, I will get strong, and I feel great. I am just like on top of the world. I'm on top of the mountain right now. I feel good. I've been back home in the US racing professional motorcycles and speedway twice since that incident, once or twice, I don't know. And I ride motorcycles every day. I climb the mountains alone. I go in the jungle. I live life and I'm healthy. I take lots of vitamins. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't take drugs. And I try to live a healthy life. You got to take care of your body. You got to cut the stress. You got to keep your life, in nature. See the nature behind me? It's beautiful. And I go to the beach. I was at the beach just recently, walking on that sand, feeling the earth between my toes. It felt so good. And, that's what makes you alive, is experiencing life, being in nature. I could never live in a big city, whether it's Manila or Cebu or Los Angeles or whatever, because, you're just in the middle of people and city. And I just love, even like where I live, I can just look out and see nature from my bedroom window. I can see it from my kitchen. I look at the birds flying and the nature and the trees. It's so beautiful. And you don't think that affects your health? It does. It makes it better. It makes you strong. So always try to enjoy the nature and never insult people. Don't wish bad on anybody, because bad will come back to you. And you don't want bad happening to you. And this person that wished bad on me, um, the new husband, he got COVID and he was really sick when they had the COVID. And, you know, she picked a younger guy because she said, "Oh, this guy, I had a leg injury and she's old and he's going to die soon." I'm not going to die soon. It's party time for me. I'm like, I feel good. And even when I was injured, I felt pretty good. So I was like, what's this girl talking about? Like wishing bad things on people. And since then, her new husband, he was only very young, very young guy. He got deathly sick and then he had COVID and he was like dying. And then I said, God, I feel really good. And this person's like wishing bad on me. And then her papa passed away a couple years ago. And I'm like, you just don't wish bad on people because bad things can happen to you. Of course, people pass away, like that's part of life, but just don't wish bad things and don't be arrogant. So that's my 2 cents in life. I always try to live that. I always try to behave myself in a way that I'm not insulting people and I'm not wishing bad things on people because karma is real, it's alive. And I'm live streaming. Please subscribe if you like the show. I'm on YouTube and I rode up this mountain on this KLX 140 and I just like power my way up the mountain. It's so much fun. I'm alone. There's nobody here. I don't see any monsters in the jungle. There's no monsters and there's no animals. I'm just me and you and nature. And that's what life is all about. It's about enjoying your life. And being in nature really has a therapeutic element. And so it's very important if you live in the city to get out of that city and come to like the mountains, to the beaches, where you can just get away from all that noise and people. I I like you, like in YouTube. I like you very much. And I have a lot of good friends on YouTube. So thank you so much. And I have almost 10,000 subscribers and I have almost 4 million videos watched. And so I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful for that. And I don't really make any money really doing this, but it's just a hobby for me because I'm retired and I do a lot of motorcycle riding. And you should just be cool in life and always be respectful of people and never insult people. Never think that we're above people because that blogger Vitali, he was going around insulting the Filipinos and stuff. And he's in prison now for a long time. And he was near me when he was doing that rage. And this is before he got caught. And I was like, I want to go find that guy and I want to beat his ass because he should not like insult the people. And he was insulting lots of people. And I'm like, why do you insult people? You'll get no respect. You'll get no care. You'll be arrested in the Philippines. If you come to the Philippines and you just act like a total ass, you will pay the price because the Philippines is a great country. It's a law abiding country. And the Filipinos are good, but they don't deserve to be insulted. And I don't deserve to be insulted. Back home, I have family members that insult me all the time. And I'm like, why do you insult me? Why don't you just move on with your life and make your life the best it can be? Don't focus on me because I've gone way past you. Because bad people in my life, I just get rid of them. I don't keep bad around, whether it's a ex-girlfriend or a family member. I just say adios, amiga, whatever, because life is so short and bad karma rubs off on you, like bad vibes. So just stay away from the bad vibes. And if people in your life are giving you bad vibes, sometimes you can't help it. It could be like you could be a father and have children, you're stuck. You're stuck. Or you could be a husband and you got a wife that's giving you bad vibes. You're stuck. You're stuck. But if it's just like a casual friend or somebody on YouTube or somebody on Facebook or somebody like that insulting you, just get rid of them. because that's the way you're going to be free in your mind and you're going to live a healthier life, is to rid yourself of all the stresses. And that's the key to really happiness and also a longer life, because that stress can wear on you and it can make you old. Stress makes you incredibly old and it makes you leave the earth faster. So get rid of the stress. So always, you're just remember, you're in control of your own life. And that's the thing that I always tell myself, is I'm in control. And I've had rude comments on my YouTube channel, and I know you're not going to do that. But I've had rude comments by people. They've said bad things to me and stuff, and I just get rid of them. I block them. And if you're watching this, you haven't been blocked. But not very often people are rude, to be honest with you. But I don't accept it. If I have people in my life, let's say from back home, who are jealous of me because I'm having a fantastic life and they wish bad on me, don't do that. Don't wish bad on people, because those people are going to have a bad life who wish bad on you. And I have a great life. And these people are so angry because they're like, God, Bryan, he's on YouTube, he has a great life, he's traveling all over the world, he's riding his motorcycles all over the country. He loves the Philippines, he loves the Filipino people. He doesn't like us people who are negative and who are dirty minded and horrible behavior. He doesn't like us. Of course they don't like you. You think I like that? You should not like it either, because we don't need that bad karma in our life. So get rid of them if you can. Maybe your children or your husband or wife, you can't do that. But if you can, get rid of the negative people and the negative things in your life, clear it out and have a simple life and have less stress. Don't insult people. Don't act arrogant. Just live life simple and be kind to people. And people will be kind back, especially Filipino people. Like, I'm always nice to Filipino people. If you see me talking to you right now, that's the way I talk to my neighbors and the people I see on the street. If you know me, I'm just like this. And I always treat people with dignity and respect. Even the poor people, the beggars, I give them lots of respect, because that could be me. Like, I could be poor and I could be a beggar. So don't act like nothing bad can ever happen to you, because life can go up and down and up and down. Life is not fixed. So always show respect for humanity, knowing that, things can happen in life and we could be in their shoes one day. So always try to have the karma of God on your side and good. And that's the way that you have it, is you always, have that. And a lot of the Philippine people are like that. That's what I like so much about the Philippines, is I think a lot of the Filipinos, they kind of like believe the same thing. They believe that you should be good to everybody. Of course, if people do bad to you, you have to address the issues. You can't just let people step on you. But the Philippine people understand that basically, there is a God, and God is not sleeping, and he's watching you, and he's judging, the things that you do. So act on your best behavior and be kind to people. And the Philippine people basically know that. And that's the good thing. Of course, not all people know that. And, people, in the Philippines can do bad too. But try to avoid that and try to learn that that's the wrong thing to do and just behave. And whether you're a Filipino or a foreigner, it's always good to just behave yourself, because if you do that, you'll just have a simple life and nobody hates you. Nobody's looking at you funny, saying that, oh, this guy is, bad guy or whatever. Like, people will just kind of like you, if you're just a chill guy. And maybe not everyone likes me. I can't control that. All I can control and all you can control is yourself. And you have to have a good attitude, and you have to think positive of yourself. Life just wants us to think negative. It wants us to be down and think that we're not worthy, and that we nobody likes us, and we're kind of stupid people or whatever. Like, we're not any good. But that's not true, because we have to have that confidence in ourselves that we are good, and we have to behave in ways that we are good. And I remember when I was very young, I was in a group with a bunch of guys, and I was like a missionary at the time. And this guy was very bold, and he was very confident, and he was a very good guy talking, speaking. And I was very young, and I was very kind of nervous and scared, and I wasn't sort of like confident in myself because I was very young. And this guy was very bold and strong, and he was very good, in his speech and his mannerisms, and how he projected himself as a strong individual, powerful. And I was like, God, I would like that. I would like to be like this guy. So after his last name was Ware, and after he spoke, and I pulled him aside quietly, I kind of said to Ware, I said, how did you get like that? How did you get like so bold and so strong in your mannerism and so confident? Like when I watch you speak like with the power of God. You speak with confidence. You're not up there shaking like a mouse, like, "Whoa." No, you're strong, you're powerful. God is flowing through you, and people are listening. And I said, God, I like that one. I like that, because I was not like that. And I said, hey, how did you do that? And he said, you just have to be confident in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And you have to know that, you're a good person. And you have to have that faith in yourself. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're the strong guy. You're in control of your life. And I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I like that, I like that. And ever since he did that, he told me that, I believed in myself. I said, just believe in yourself, Bryan. Don't let negative people tear you down. Don't let people who hate you say, you're a bad guy and you're this and that and stuff. Just forget about that. Delete them from your life and be powerful and strong, because you can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. So that's the key. And I had lots of people like trying to like do bad to me in my life and try to like get me to be a bad person and stuff. And I just hold strong to my conservative principles. I believe in the law. I believe in behaving the best of my ability. I'm not perfect, but I believe in doing the best I possibly can. And I'm human though, I make mistakes, but you have to just really have that confidence and faith in yourself, and just like, believe in yourself. Because if people are trying to get you to do bad things and stuff in life, you have to like know where you stand. You have to draw the line in the sand, and you have to say, you know what? This is crossing my line in the sand. And you are not going to get me to change, because I have a belief in myself. I believe this way. I believe I'm strong. I believe that I'm conservative. I believe I'm law abiding. I believe in truth and goodness and the best of my ability to be a good person. So you're not going to get me to be a bad person. And if people want you to be a bad person or do bad things, the best thing you can do is walk away. I did that with one of my family members. They wanted me to join Antifa. And Antifa is like a terrorist organization in America. And I was in the Philippines anyway, so like I don't know if it mattered. But I had a family member say, like, I want you to join Antifa and be like a anti-government radical. And I said, no, I don't want to do that, because I never believe in like trying to like, go against the government and try to like create chaos and stuff like that, because I don't believe that. And so this person said to me, close relative, I will not mention names because I don't like to be a chismis and talk bad about people, but I will say the situation, which is truthful. They said, like, if you don't join Antifa, which the President Trump recently labeled as a terrorist organization. I don't want to join a terrorist organization. Like, why do I want to be a terrorist? What benefit do I have of being like a bad person and being a rebel? Like, what good does it do my life? No good. So, forgot to bring my water, but I said, no, I'm not going to be Antifa. Because why do I want to join a terrorist organization? Like, what benefit does being a terrorist do me except going to jail? And I don't want to go to jail. And I do everything I can to just be a good person and not go to jail. So why do I want to cause trouble? And why do I want to be a terrorist? And this family member said, if you don't join Antifa, I will make bad stories about you. I will tell people like, I don't know, just probably bad stories. They didn't say what bad stories, but people can make up a million bad stories with lies. And I said, I have to hold my ground now, and I have to be like firm. And it hurt me to have to do this to a close family member. Like, why should I have to do this? Like, it's totally ridiculous. But I said, I will not join Antifa. I will not be a terrorist. I will not be an anti-government rebel. So you can say whatever you want about me. I don't care because it's not true. And you're blackmailing me to join a bad organization. And I said, the best thing we could do is cut our relationship. And this is a close family member that I knew for many years. And I haven't spoken to that person since then. And that person vowed that they would spread very horrible rumors about me and say terrible things and make me look like the most worst criminal in the world and lie, lie, lie. And I said, go ahead, do that, because I have principles in myself and I have a line in the sand, and I will not cross that line. I will stay true to who I am. And whether you like it or not, I don't care. I will continue to do the best I can to be a good person. So if you're going to try to flip me to be a terrorist, it's not going to happen. Sorry. So that was it. Over. And this was a person that I've known for decades. And it hurt me. It really hurt me that a closest family members would try to do that to me, because it's not fair. But I didn't care, because I know that I'm not going to like blackmail into doing something I don't want to do. So that's my rant and rave about keeping, yourself like who you are. Be true. William Shakespeare once said, be true to thyself. Be true to thyself. And we have to be true to who we are. It's very important, because we don't want to be somebody else. We don't want to copy, imitate. We want to be who God made us. And we have enough information to know what's right and what's wrong, and to make hopefully the correct choices of doing the right things. And if people want to say bad things, if you don't follow them, let them. It's okay. Walk away. Know that these people are bad, and that you will not bend down to their demands, because that's ridiculous. That people would say that they would harm you if you don't go evil. So I'm like, okay, goodbye. See ya. And that was it. It's over. So always, be good and always be true. And that's what living in the Philippines has been so much, is that it's been good. And, I've just seen so many nice people in the Philippines, and, like people who believe in these kind of things and that are true to themselves. And life is not always easy. Life is difficult, and we all have traumas in our life. I've had many in my life, and I just knew that, like, I will fight. I will get through this trauma. I've had terrible injuries, and I've been in the hospital, and I've had serious things happen to me, and I've been abandoned and left alone several times. And I just like said, God is with me, and always smile and always keep a positive attitude. Never Never like think that you're alone. Always know that there's somebody there, and there's always God. If there's nobody else, there's always God that will be by your side. So if your family is not with you or your friends, always know that there's a higher being that will stay with you. And one of the guys, I think from Israel or something, I can't remember where he was, he said, I don't believe in God a few days ago. And I said, there is a God. And I said, look at the beautiful world. Look at the beautiful nature. Look at the beautiful oceans, the mountains. Look at the beautiful mountains. And I ask, is there a God? And the answer is, who created this? Me or you? I don't think so. I don't have the power to create this kind of beauty, and neither did that guy. He had no power. He's just a guy like me. And so I said, God created that, because who would create this? Who would create this beautiful earth, this beautiful world, this beautiful life? We have a perfect earth that is perfect, where it harbors life. We've been exploring the galaxies and the universe for life, and we can't find it so far. It's a big universe, it's a big galaxies. The galaxy's big, 100,000 light years or more. So it's huge. Our galaxy's huge. And we can't even find life anywhere. So you and I are special because we live in a very special world, and it's beautiful. And God created that world for you and me to enjoy. So just stay positive, like even if things are difficult in your life, stay positive and know that like you're in a very special place at a special time. God has put you here, and it's really a blessing to be living on this beautiful earth, because there's probably zillions of people, spirits that can't get a body to get on this earth, and you and me have that. So we should be very happy and blessed, and not wish bad things on ourselves, because life is so short. So live your life to the fullest every day, because life is short anyways, right? And this is one of the special places in the universe that we know of, and there's probably more, but this is the special place, the earth. It rotates at the right speed, it's the right angle, it's the right distance from the sun. We're not too hot, we're not too cold, unless we live in North America in the winter, it's cold. But it's a very beautiful earth. And I just look at all the nature, and it makes you like happy. And so it's just a wonderful world. Please subscribe if you like this show and like the show, because it's just a gorgeous world that we live on. And we as human beings have a tendency to get down on ourselves and to think like, oh, we're no good, or be depressed or be down. And I get that way too sometimes. And I just look at the nature, I look at the world that God has created. I go on the internet and I see like all the different like stars in the universe and the stars in the galaxy. They're all suns with their own planets. And I say, well, I'm pretty lucky to be here right now. So this is just a gorgeous world that we live in. So every day when you wake up, you should like give thanks in your heart. If you don't pray, you should pray in your mind and say, thank you, God, for this beautiful day. And I'm happy that I'm alive, because it's so nice to be living on this earth at this time. So it's really nice. And that's why I try to do my best to at least once a day do something that makes me happy, that makes me enjoy this world. It makes me, because sometimes, because I'm retired, and so I can like chill a lot and just kind of relax. I like sports and stuff, so I watch a lot of sports during the day, and I like my football from America. I like the Los Angeles Rams, so I'm always watching bloggers and stuff. And so you have to do things that make you happy. That's what makes me happy. And I watch ice hockey games, and I watch football games live from America and London this weekend. So yeah, I mean, there's so many things, but we got to make sure we do things that we enjoy. So how's everybody doing today? How are you? Oh, Oh man, it's starting to get dark here. I got my glasses here. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm a good spear writer and a good preacher. Oh, thank you. God bless you. Oh, Jesus Christ, my creation. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's the purpose of life. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be a preacher, but I mean, how can you deny God? You know, like, how can you deny the existence of God? You know, God gives us everything we have. You know, God gives me everything I have. I have a blessed life. I'm the first one to tell you. And thank you for telling me I'm a good speedway writer because God gave me that talent, however good or bad it is. Or I'm still going to race again. You know, I'll go back and race. I ride every day. Well, most every day. I'm on a bike every day, let's say. And, you know, God is just good. You know, God has been really blessed in my life. And, you know, so many people in my life have been so evil, you know, saying bad things, wishing. I had an ex-wife before, and she always wished bad on me. She wished me to, she did things to see me like to collect insurance, to see me like gone so she could collect death insurance, life insurance, death insurance. I've had so many bad people do bad things to me, and I have just got through all that stuff, you know, like wishing me bad. And that's not how you do it, you know, like you don't want to wish bad on people. And I remember I had a horrible ex-wife that's gone, 1993, and she was wishing bad on me all the time. She said, I don't like you, you know, you're going to have bad karma. You're going to, God's gonna curse you, you know, you're gonna be a homeless and you're gonna be a beggar and you're gonna be in America, they have these on ramps for the freeway, and there's a beggars, poor people, they stand on the on ramps and some of them make good money and they beg for, let's say, 50 pesos or whatever, a dollar or $5 or $20 or something. They go around like holding signs up like homeless and stuff. And I had an ex-wife, she said, you're going to be homeless one day and you're going to be a beggar, you're going to be poor, and you're going to be like pathetic and people are going to be like laughing at you. And I said, no, they're not. No, they're not. I started a very successful business. I worked hard. God blessed me. I retired young. I have a wonderful life. And everything she said didn't happen. And of course, and she even made comments, this evil, crazy bitch. She made comments on my YouTube and I blocked her, but you know, like I'm not gonna put up with people like making bad stuff. And she was like, blah, 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 oh, you're bad, blah, blah. And I'm like, out of here, like, get out, out. I can't take you no more. I couldn't take you in 93 and I can't take you in 2025. But she wishing bad luck on me. Like, and you know what? God bless me. God blessed me with a great business. And I had a very successful business, an honest business. I made lots and lots of money in my business. I invested well. I have a great retirement. And everything that this stupid, there's some people walking down the hill over here. Wow, there's lots of people walking. What is going on here? I'm in the middle of the mountain and there's like 20 people walking down the hill. That's crazy. God, and I gotta run. I gotta go by them when I take the motorcycle back down. That's gonna be fun, huh? I better wait for a minute. But you know, everything that this person wished bad on me, God heard that. God heard this negative energy, this wishing horrible things on me. And I said to myself, with me and God in charge, we will never allow this to happen. We will never allow us to be homeless. We will never allow us to be poor beggars. We will never allow us to be pathetic. We will fight. We will fight. We will fight. We will fight. And I did. I fought. And every day when I worked, I had my own business and it was very successful. It was one of the most successful construction businesses in the area. And I didn't have any bad records on my license? Because I was good and I was honest. And people can say whatever they want, but you could go check the contractors board in California in the state, because my record was perfect. And I made lots and lots of money for being honest and being good, because people checking on you, they're checking, they're like, is this guy any good, is he honest? Because everyone in California like gets black marks, because people are so fast to like judge you and criticize you and make a report. But in like 20 years or more, I had 0 marks. And people are like, how did you work in California for 20 years in the public with people who love to like complain? They love to like talk crap. They love to like trash you. How could you work 20 plus years and no complaints? 0. It's called being good. You have to be honest in life. And God will bless you, if you're good. And I've had people in my life, especially like girls, they've they've stolen from me. They take the quick, like they take quick money, or they take like things, valuables, my baseball cards, things that are valuable to me, because they know they're valuable. And then they take the quick money, and it's small money. It's nothing big. And then I catch them. I'm like, why did you steal? You're bad. You have to go. And then they're gone. And they could have had such a better life if they were just honest and they weren't such idiots. So don't ever go for the quick money, to try to steal fast and stuff like that. Don't do that. In the Philippines, there's a lot of these contractors that they pocketing lots of money and stuff, and they're buying beautiful cars for their children, and their wife has 15 very expensive cars in their garage, and these people are scamming and they're not doing their job. They're just making fake like looking projects and stuff. What the heck is this? That's a way, you can go to prison. So don't do that. Like I didn't believe in that as a contractor myself. So I had a good business, and God blessed me because of that. So don't ever think that there's not a God, and don't ever think that it doesn't matter, because it does matter. Because everything we do in life matters. It matters how we behave, and how we treat. When I was a speedway rider, lots of people always trying to get me in trouble. I had lots of fans. I had fans of all ages, grandmas, married people, teenagers, children, everybody. And everyone was trying, like people were trying to get me to do bad and trying to paint me as a bad guy and stuff. I just treat everyone the same, and I not do anything. And there's lots of different times where police were trying to like, find out if I was a criminal and stuff. And I never do this bad stuff. And so I'm always good to everyone. And I always tell people, if you want to talk to me, you come see me after the races in the pits. I do not like entertain people, I do not entertain people in their houses and stuff. I am a professional. And if you want to see me, you can see me after the races and stuff. And so you have to conduct yourself in professional way, because there's always somebody trying to like arrest you, trying to find bad, trying to paint your picture that you're horrible, trying to destroy your life. So just take control of your life. Be strong. Don't allow people to ruin your life, because it's your life. It's my life. And be strong. So yeah, I mean, always just take control of yourself, and never allow yourself to be tricked. I always say in my life, think one step ahead of the game. Always think ahead. Don't be the person that is behind one step, because if you're behind one step, you have lots of trouble, because you're always behind. But I always make it a principle in my life to always be a step ahead, to think, don't do this, don't do bad, always put yourself in a good position. Never allow anything bad to happen to you. And so, yeah, yeah, that's right. True. Yeah, the humans just want to be me. The humans want to be like Jesus, because Jesus said, like, follow me, follow my footsteps. And, that's what we should do as humans. We should like follow the footsteps of Jesus. if people, we live in a world where everyone's judging us and everyone's watching us. And in my house, I'm very private. I don't allow anyone in because if I start bringing people into my house area, like I have a gate around in a house, like a compound, people will say, "Oh, well, Bryan's got bad activities going on. He's bringing lots of people into the house. People are coming in Bryan's house that we don't know and stuff." Of course, some of my motorcycle friends will come over and deliver my motorcycle or something, but I'm talking about like just people. And I tell everyone, like, don't come to my house. Like, I don't want any suspicious activities around my house. Nobody. I have a private house, and then like I'm always nice to the neighbors, giving foods and candies and stuff, and all the neighborhood kids, they all want to come in my house like through my gate, and I say no, no children in my house. You have to stay out. And I have a strict rule that no kids allowed in my premises. I don't want nobody saying anything. And so the best way to avoid any kind of discussion of bad is to just not allow anything. Don't sit there and because when I first came to the Philippines, I didn't realize that people were so judgmental. They like look at you, they thinking everything bad. Like they're thinking nasty too. A lot of people like they're thinking like, bad things, they're talking bad things and stuff. So the best way to avoid that is just not have anything like that. Just cut it all. And I remember like even a lot of the local guys in the Philippines, they would ask they would like ask, let's say if I had a date, they would ask them like bad things about my body parts and stuff like that. They would be rude. And I'm thinking, in my country, if somebody talks like that, like we punch them, like we will go for them. But I'm in the Philippines, so I can't be like punching everybody out. But I'm a trained boxer, so I do a lot of fighting, and I could definitely take on most guys. But you can't do that. You have to behave. You got to behave. Only if somebody's robbing me or attacking me, then I will pull it out and I'll have to go for it. But if somebody talking about my body parts or whatever, you just have to like say, what kind of human being's this? Like, why would you talk like this? And what kind of jerk, what kind of idiots behave like this? Like, I would never talk to another guy and talk about like to his girlfriend and say, hey, is that guy's body parts? What's the body parts and stuff? Don't do that. Like, shut up. Like, what crazy people. But I had to control myself because my first reaction is I wanted to get these guys. Because in my country, you do that. You go and you fight these guys. You'll punch them out because nobody's rude like that in my country. I mean, they're rude, but if they do it, you got to go and punch them out. Like, you can't take it. It's like acceptable to go fight at that point. But I'm in the Philippines and I can't just go beat up every Philippine guy. Like, that will get me in trouble. So I have to reserve myself to control. And I did, I never got crazy, but I wanted to. I wanted to. Sometimes I wish I was a gladiator. I make a lot of gladiator videos on my shorts because I would just love to get into an arena and just like be a gladiator and fight to the death. That's kind of one of my dream professions. If I was born in the 1500s or 1400s, would just fight, and because we can't do that. We can't do that. But I have this spirit about me that, especially the bad people in my life, I would just love to fight. Love to just, I have this sort of warrior spirit about me, but I can't do that. It's illegal. But I have that inside me. So that's why if you see some of my gladiator shorts on my YouTube channel, I love the gladiator spirit. I love to fight. I wish I was a gladiator. Maybe I was a gladiator because I would really like to get into a ring and take somebody out legally and take them out. But I can't do that now because we live in a world that we can't do these things. But I still have that spirit of fighting, and I have a strong spirit. If you don't know how strong a spirit I have, it's very strong. And I got a lot of, I like to believe I have a lot of power from God because God makes me strong. And God makes you strong too because of his love and his blessings. So it's great. But I can't be a fighter like a warrior because that's illegal. Dang. But if I was in the gladiator times, I would love to fight to the death. Like I would fight and I would not lose as much as possible. But that's a scary job, right? I mean, you could get taken out too. So, yeah, so we're just hanging out here. There's a big group of people down the mountain walking on the trail that I ride up. So, I hope they're going to be down soon so I can go down. How's it going? Hey, is that Josephine? Oh, Kelso, I have a KLX 150, a 140. I was going to buy the KLX 150, but it's a little bit taller. And I got to see this 140, and it's a perfect bike to go up the mountains because in the Philippines, we have a wild country, as you can see. It's wild country. And I like the bike that's a little bit smaller as far as like lighter. And so I enjoy the KLX 140. My friends back home in America, they said, "Oh well, it's okay. It's nothing special." It is special. It's a nice bike, and I love riding this bike. It's one of the fun bikes of my life because it's light and it's nimble, and it has a little bit of power that I can get up these mountains easy. I never have a problem climbing the mountains. So it has enough power, but it's light. So if I fall down, I can pick up the bike easy, and it's not too tall, and so it's perfect, But it has the motocross wheels, the 21-inch front tire and then the 18-inch back tire. It has the standard cool setup that you need for like riding. So even though it's a smaller bike, CC and stuff, and the frame is smaller, but the ground clearance is like 12 or 13 inches, which is great. I jump over these logs over here that was like the lightning knocked these trees down, and I just jump them, boom, boom, easy, no problem. And then it has all the goodies that the like a good bike has, the big bikes, but it's light, and so it's fun. Like if I have a big heavy bike, it's very heavy and it falls very easy. And it's hard to pick up a bike, especially if you've been riding for 4 or 5 hours and you're tired, and then you got to pick up a heavy bike. Let's say if you fall down a mountain, because the Filipino guys, they get crazy, like they go up and down scary mountains and stuff that I would never go on alone. And so having a bike that's lighter, if I do happen to fall down, because there's crazy, like it's a crazy place here in the Philippines. In America, we ride like nice trails, kind of like enjoy the trails and stuff. But in the Philippines, they ride mountains and they ride they ride trails that there's no trails. They just ride raw mountains, and it's scary. I mean, it's scary. And I've raced many years speedway, and I had some nice comments about my racing. Thank you. And but I don't need to get crazy anymore. I just want to enjoy my life and just have fun. So a lot of these Filipino guys never had the opportunities that I had to race. I probably had 1,000 or more races in my life and practices and stuff, laps. So I'm not like a lot of guys where like it's my first time or it's a time that I'm like excited, because a lot of people, if they never got that out of their blood, they want to do it now. They want to enjoy it, which I don't blame them. But I already did that. I've been there and done that. I've been in some of the most intense races, I've experienced that you could have. So I've experienced a lot of the drama, a lot of the crashes, a lot of the injuries, the stress, nervousness, the butterflies. I've been there. I've done all this stuff in my life. So now I'm just kind of chill, like I can do all of it. Don't get me wrong. I can ride just as good as the next guy, but I'm just having fun right now. It's a good time. And life is really like a lot of fun. And I just enjoy, every day of it, and so much fun. I just try to be as good a person as I can. Not everyone's going to like me, but I'm not really in a popularity contest. I hope people like me. I want to be good, but it's not my choice, if somebody likes me. And if someone doesn't like me, I guess I just like, enjoy my life anyways. I don't allow I don't allow people to influence how I feel about myself because I know who I am. And I can look at myself in the mirror every day and know that I'm a decent dude, that I'm not perfect, but I'm a pretty good guy. And I don't feel bad about things. I don't feel bad about anything. And I try to be a good person. I try not to do bad. And I love to do good. And if people want me to do bad, I tell them no, I don't want to do bad. So I just do everything I can to, like, be the best person I can be because, like I say, God's not sleeping. And it's best to just, if you live your life in a good way, you never have to worry about it. You don't have to worry. People can say, like, there's people who don't like me, by the way, in America and stuff. And they just want to make stories. Oh, Bryan's a bad guy. He's like this, he's like that. It's like, go away. I moved on from my life. I don't need your lies and I don't need your crap talking because I know who I am and I live my life good. Next to the people spreading the lies, I live probably a way better life. But I don't need that in my life, and I don't need to insult people. And I don't need to like write them back and fight them and say, I'm a good person, you're lying, you're bad. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna take you to the court and I'm going to defame you for lies and stuff. And you don't need to do that. Just the power that you have is to walk away, to not fight these people. Just walk away. That's the most powerful thing you can do when people are trying to trash you. Don't fight them. Just walk. You know yourself. You don't need that. You don't need to fight. You don't need to prove who you are. What you need to do is walk. Walk this way. Walk and cut these people from your life. So, how you doing? What do we got here? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Graham. Oh, I appreciate that. Hey, you're a cool dude, man. I have this good buddy from England named Graham, and he's an old motorcycle lover of 70 Speedway. I do a lot of my shows on 70 Speedway because I had a chance to experience some of this stuff and race against some of the great champions of the sport and win some and lose some. But I had that chance to experience this. So we've had a good life, and I've had a chance to experience some things that nobody ever has experienced, especially in the motorcycle world. And not everyone likes me in the motorcycle world, by the way, but I don't care because I just live my life and I just keep going every day and it doesn't bother me. Love me, hate me, whatever. Just keep going with your life and do the best you can. I make a lot of motorcycle shows on the speedway, and Graham likes those shows. He likes them. And I get a lot of people liking the show, so that's good. But when I first started making my motorcycle shows, a lot of people didn't like them, and I think I didn't do a good job, to be honest with you. So I don't blame the people. But now, now I do a better job because I have a lot of experience. So it's cool. I enjoy the sport of speedway. I enjoy riding motorcycles. My KLX it gets me there, climbing the mountains and stuff. I just fly on that bike. But yeah, it's a good time, and yeah, we're just having a good day riding. I have to go buy some food at the store. The sun is starting to set. Excuse me. And there was a group of like 20 people walking down the mountain. There's like wild mountains up here, and they must have like walked down. I couldn't believe it. There was just like 20 people walking down the mountain. And I'm like, geez Louise, I thought I was alone. But we're having a good time. And we're talking about positive mental attitude, positive self worth. And each one of us need to incorporate that and be the best we can be and behave in a good way that we warrant the respect of others so that we can, be good. Like look in the mirror and think good to ourselves, that we know we're a good person. Because all we have to do is prove to ourselves that we're the good people. And if people want to talk crap on you, no, you can't control that. But just live your life so that you do the best you can every day and let the chips fall where they may, and then you'll be okay. Because if you do good every day in life, you have nothing to worry about. I got to get some drink. Oh, oh, you like my speedway shows, huh, Graham? I do the best I can. And I know a lot about like the American speedway, especially. And I like the European speedway too. But since I kind of grew up watching the speedway as a little child, as a 11-year-old snot-nosed brat, and then since I started racing speedway professionally at age 16, the first year I could start racing, I kind of had some experiences, and mostly were good and some were bad. There was some bad. And I just hate to lose racing motorcycles. I'm very competitive. That's why I think I would be a good gladiator, because I love to fight. You know, when I'm racing motorcycles, I like to fight. And when I lose, I feel horrible. I'm a terrible sport about losing, because every time I race, I'm like Ivan Major. There's a speedway racer named Ivan the Great Major, and he won all the time. He was one of the greatest speedway racers of all time, number one. And Ivan hated to lose. It drove him crazy. And that way he won all the time. He was really good. I was no Ivan Major, by the way. But I have the same thinking of Ivan Major, even though I'm not as good as him. So, it drives you crazy when you lose. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, uh, you gotta like not let that do that, because I was getting so intense. I was kind of happy I stopped racing, because I was like killing myself with stress, because even when I was racing the very best riders in the world, I was like, I gotta beat these guys. They're nobody. I can beat these guys. And if they beat me, even if they're super good, I was angry. I was very angry. And even if I go back and race at Costa Mesa now, I'm angry when I lose. I got 3 second place finishes in my racing a couple years ago, racing after 10 years of not racing, or 15, 13 years or whatever. I was mad. I said, why did you lose? I was winning one of my races and I fell, and I got up and I got second. I was so angry. And that's why it's good for me to just enjoy nature, because I get so wound up and so competitive. I believe that I should win every race, and I believe I'm the best. And I have that mental attitude like Ivan the Great Major, which is good, but at the same time, it can be bad too if you're too hard on yourself. And I am too hard on myself. That's bad. But thanks for hanging out with us, Graham, and everybody else. Please subscribe. You guys that haven't subscribed, I do a lot of different shows. I do a lot of motorcycle shows. I do a lot of positive shows. Today was kind of a religious show, right? Where we're talking about good things, that we should behave ourselves. And I feel good about that, because that's the way we should all behave. We should behave the best we can, and believe that God will bless us if we behave and we treat others with dignity, and always treat people with respect, and God will bless us back. So that's my firm belief, and I live my life the best of my ability every day for that. And everybody should do that same thing, and they'll have a great life. I have a great life. And my life has been so blessed, compared to, let's say, the ex-wife who wished me to be a beggar on the street. God bless me as a rich man. And these people, they're like losers. So always never insult people, and just believe that God will bless you. And God has blessed me so much. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, my whole life, God's always been there. And my haters have always like hated me. Like, oh, we're gonna wish bad on you today, tomorrow. You're gonna be bad. You're evil. You're bad. And I'm like, I think you're evil and I think you're bad. And never just always like enjoy your life and never let the bad people pull you down and behave the best you can and never hurt people, never talk bad on people, never fight the bad people telling you bad things like you're down, you're a loser. Just don't listen to them and get them out of your life. I block everybody. I blocked 1,000 people from my life, and I'm happy I did that because anyone that messes with my happiness, they have to go. They have to go. See you. And that's the way you should do it too. Take control of your life and be strong, and don't allow anyone to damage your life or talk bad on you or tell you things that are not true or make stories up because they hate you. Don't allow that. Just get rid of their life, get rid of their karma, get rid of their bad style, and then you'll be happy. So, yeah. So we're gonna go pretty soon. It's the sun is setting here. I gotta go to the store. Hey man, love from India. Oh, cool. God bless you from into India. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love the Indian people. So cool. And a lot of the Indian people come to the Philippines. They've been visiting, and they're very nice people. I have a lot of in America. I had a lot of Indian friends that did advertising for me, and they were very cool and very nice people. So I love and respect the Indian people from India for sure. And I do love and respect all mankind, to be honest with you. You should always have that love and respect for everybody. Um, doesn't matter what country they're from. India is a great country, and every country has good people. So never group a country based on judgmental purposes. Always see the good in each and every individual, and always try to like have a positive attitude towards everybody and every country, and never talk bad, on people or countries because every country has good and not good. So it's all individual. But we love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you for hanging out today. Um, it was kind of a little bit like religious talking, but life is like that. Life is has a lot of religious implications. How to behave and how to treat people. And I'm not a perfect, you know, person like a saint, but I do the best I can to be a decent person. And I don't care what really people say about me or what they think because I know who I am, and I do a whole lot of good. And I always follow Jesus. Like, Jesus is the person in our lives that we have to walk after his footsteps. We have to bless the poor. We have to be humble, and we have to do good to the people that are out lowly and that are downtrodden, and we have to show mercy to those people, and we have to be kind to all mankind. And even though I God has blessed me with more means than other people, I have to not think that way, and I have to always think that I am just like everybody else and walk following Jesus's footsteps, because Jesus never put himself above everybody else. He always was humble and had a meek spirit and always loved all mankind. And that's what we should all do, is follow the footsteps of Jesus. So thank you very much for hanging out. It's getting dark. The sun has set. I got to get down from this mountain or I'm going to be stuck here. And it's going to get dark really soon. But thank you so much for hanging out. Like I say, like the show if you like it. I caught a snake today with these gloves. I had to wash them, get the stinky. He tied on this glove right here. He took a dump on me, so I had to wash my gloves before the ride. But I have a new pet, a new snake, and I'm gonna make friends with that little creature. I love all of God's creatures, as long as they're not poisonous. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thanks Graham and my friend from India and all of you, my friends, my friends. I appreciate you, and really, God bless you so much. And I wish nothing but the best for each one of you. And just stay positive, stay focused, and don't let nobody tear you down or say that you're bad, or just the negative energy. Get rid of all negative energy from your life, and you will be happy. And life is beautiful and it's precious. And it's only one life we have. So just make it the best we can, and always walk in Jesus's footsteps, and always be a good person, the best person you can be. And things will be great. So thank you so much. Please subscribe. And we're going to end this live stream so I get off this mountain before we get dark. If I lose a chain or something, I'm screwed. But thanks once again. And we're going to see you, of course. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to see you next time. God bless. Have a great day.